welcome back to the podcast, the Gotham Database Podcast. I am your host, Vince. Hopefully you're having a great day. I know it's been a little while since I updated this podcast. I was going to try to bring it back on a weekly basis, but, time got away from me and life got away from me. Things happen. You know how it is. Anyhow, you can follow me or contact me by going to the Gotham Database on X, or you can go to my website, gotham-database.com, which is my blog, which has all my write-ups on it from my custom city Nightfall Bay to whatever I'm working on at the current moment and going over, and hopefully things are going pretty well there, right? Yeah. As of this recording, we have about 7 days left of the DC Heroes role-playing game 40th anniversary Kickstarter, which you can go to kickstarter.com, project CZ/DC Heroes role-playing game 40th anniversary, or just Google DC Kickstarter, and the first thing that comes up. Their goal of $80,000 was met with $362,000. So they went well over their goals, and they actually updated it so that the stretch goals were things like the Batman the role-playing game they're going to reprint, as well as the 3rd edition game and the DC tech manual that some people had really wanted. But I know a lot of people wanted the 3rd edition book because that's one of the hardest ones to finally get, or the 2nd edition box set, which isn't that difficult to get because there's a lot of those on eBay, but they're expensive. But the 3rd edition book I know has really been very expensive. Hopefully you are getting what you want to get, and I don't know. Hopefully you get what you get. Anyway, if you haven't, there's 7 days left. Get over there and support them if you want some of the prints. If you're like me and have them already, you don't need it, but just maybe throw, a couple bucks in there just because you believe. That's what I did. I don't really need anything from the Kickstarter. I have almost all this stuff. So, yeah, because I'm a big DC fan. Always have been all my life. Anyway, today we're going to talk a little bit about Absolute Batman, the Absolute Universe, all in for DC comic books. I want to do a review of that. It was written by Scott Snyder. Nick Dracoda is the artist. The colors are by Frank Martin. Lettering is by Clayton Cowles. So, when I first read All In and I heard about the Absolute Universe, I was just like, what the hell? Because I saw the preview cover of Batman looking like he's 4,000 feet tall, or like 75 Batman standing there, compared to what he usually looks like, which is, just, a muscle guy. But this Batman looks like, a gigantic Batman. And he's got these weird bat wings on him. So I was like, all right, whatever. And after reading the All-In special #1, which was kind of, all right, whatever. Hopefully it'll get a little bit better. I picked up Batman 1, and I'm absolutely in love with this Absolute Batman #1. I mean, I did a write-up of him on my blog of Absolute Batman. It was one of the blog. Let me see what date it was. I'm scrolling back. I did it on November 11th, Bruce Wayne, Absolute Batman, and give a write-up about him and his background. But this comic book really is delicious with Batman. I mean, there are so many pages in this book. How many pages are there? 40-something? Yeah, about 40 pages in this book, as I'm looking it over right now with my hands here. And we kind of look into this, and it's a different take on Batman. He is not the rich person you think he is. We would have known him to be. Alfred is not with him. He's by himself. Alfred is kind of keeping an eye on him. Alfred's still working with, I guess, is it MI6? I believe it's MI6, yeah. And he is tasked to look over some things, and then he finally sees the Batman, which, by the way, this guy's huge. Bruce Wayne is huge, so I don't understand how they're not putting 2 and 2 together. Batman is Bruce Wayne, because the dude literally is a brick shit house, I guess you would call it. And he is, in the gym, and he's just beating the shit out of the equipment in the gym, to the point that he breaks it, and he's like, oh, sorry, There's some good dialogue in here. I'm not really going to ruin most of it. You could pick it up still, the comic books. So I think 2 is out finally now, which I'm going to go over that one too. But the thing we get here is that this Batman is not only a different Batman, but he's more violent and he kicks ass. He has an axe with some blades. His bat wings help him fly and look more like a bat, and he uses those in battle as he pretty much goes after these criminals that were going to invade this speech that was going on. And he flies down into it, and his cape obviously, protects against bullets, but he uses it. Also, the Batwing extends to like whip people with it and wrap around people, grab weapons. And then his chest plate, where the bat symbol is, which is a really weird looking bat symbol, but it is, what it turns out to be is an axe. It's actually literally an axe that comes out. And he uses it on the handle, and you can see he's actually cutting people's hands off and cutting people into pieces, and he's destroying people. He's just not the Batman you know. This is a different Batman, a different time. Goes over some of his history when he was a kid and how he became the way he became. And I see a lot of potential. He actually uses a gun too, as well. And that's one of the things we don't really see too much with Batman. I mean, Batman has used a gun like once or twice in his career, but this time he actually uses a gun and to hurt and or try to kill somebody. So I see a lot of potential in this, and I hope to see a lot more. We're going to get introduced to the Joker in the next one, and I don't know, the Absolute Universe. I've read Wonder Woman #1, wasn't that great. I was like, meh. Superman, Superman #1. I was just like, yeah, I need to read more of that because I'm not too sure what's going on there. That they, instead of him being on Krypton and his family being part of the science and the High Council, his family was basically banned from that because they talked out against what the standards were on Krypton. So they became like the bottom of the cast of clans of Krypton. So they became like faceless drone people that just do manual labor in the background. And then Clark is basically on Earth, and then he's trying to defend some people. I wasn't really into the story of Absolute Superman, but I want to read a little bit more because we're supposedly getting with Justice League Unlimited, which is part of the all-in Absolute Universe, #1. After we're going to see the New Gods again, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the New Gods minus Darkseid, because, well, spoiler alert, he may not be around. That's all I'll say if you haven't read it, the all-in special or any of that stuff. But I don't know. I'm really digging what they're doing as far as Batman's concerned, because I'm a big Batman fan. Obviously, this is the Gotham database, so why not? All right, it's going to be a short one today. I'll be back next time, maybe with some more write-ups. You can go to the gotham-database.com, and you can see the write-ups I've been doing. I have a couple up in the last month or so of the Clamor Collective, which is a group of villains in Nightfall Bay that are led by the Tender, the Manipulator. They're manipulators, con artists, and people with powers that just want to manipulate and trick people into doing their bidding or making them feel sorry for them so they do their bidding. Type of stuff like that. All right, I'm going to head out. Hopefully you've enjoyed today. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. And I will see you next time. Good night, and God bless everybody.